The power of self-reflection. Living alone, especially without the companionship of a girlfriend, can sometimes feel like a lonely road to walk. Society often tells us that we are incomplete without a partner, that a man's worth is somehow tied to the relationships he has, or the lack thereof. But let me say this time, this season of solitude, is not a punishment. It is a powerful opportunity to discover who you truly are and to build the life you are meant to live. Billy Graham once said, "We are all shaped by our choices and the path we walk, but in the quiet moments when we stand alone, we hear the truth of who we are." It is in these quiet moments of solitude that the voice of truth becomes clear. When the noise of the world falls silent, we are left with only ourselves, and that is a blessing. It is a time for self-reflection, a time to look deep within and understand the very essence of who we are, who we want to become, and how we will move forward. The power of self-reflection cannot be underestimated. Many of us go through life so busy with external distractions, relationships, careers, social pressures, that we rarely take the time to stop, be still, and truly examine ourselves. But living alone gives you the space to do just that. It provides the opportunity to ask the tough questions. Who am I really? What do I want out of life? What values do I hold? What am I truly passionate about? Billy Graham taught that self-reflection is an essential part of spiritual growth. He said, "If we do not take time to look inward and reflect on our lives, we miss the chance to align ourselves with our true purpose. When you live alone, you have the unique chance to focus inward, to examine your thoughts and beliefs without outside interference. You don't have to answer to anyone else. This time of solitude is a gift, a time to truly understand yourself. In this quiet space, we are given the chance to shed the masks we wear in front of others, to stop pretending to be someone we're not, and to simply be. The truth is, before we can truly connect with others in meaningful ways, we must first connect with ourselves. Before we can give love to others, we must first learn to love who we are in the quiet of our own hearts. When you embrace self-reflection, you begin to recognize the strength that lies within. It's in these moments that you begin to identify your own worth, not based on who you're with, but based on who you are. You discover the depths of your own potential, your talents, your resilience, and your capacity for growth. Living alone is not an indication that something is missing from your life. It's a chance for you to embrace the fullness of who you are. It's in this time of reflection that you begin to realize that you are complete and that your worth does not depend on external validation, but on the intrinsic value that resides within you. So as you stand alone, know this: you are not empty, you are not lacking. You are in the midst of a transformative journey of self-discovery. The power of self-reflection is the power to unlock your full potential, to understand your purpose, and to build the life you were always meant to lead. Take this time, this precious moment of solitude, and use it to build the foundation of the man you were created to be. A path to strength. In a world that constantly tells us we need others to feel whole, living alone, without a girlfriend or a constant companion, can be seen as an act of defiance. But I tell you today, it is not a weakness. It is a profound strength. It is in this solitude that you have the opportunity to truly embrace independence, to stand on your own 2 feet and build a life rooted in your own strength, your own vision, and your own purpose. Billy Graham once said, "The world is always looking for someone to follow, but the greatest journey is when we walk alone with God guiding our steps." Independence is not the absence of relationships. It is the foundation upon which every meaningful relationship is built. It is not about isolation or detachment from others, but about the freedom to depend on yourself, to trust your own judgment, and to grow without relying on someone else's approval. Living alone gives you the space to develop your own voice, your own dreams, and your own path. It is a time to discover who you really are, not based on who you are in relation to others, but based on the unique person you are becoming. True strength comes not from what others can give you, but from your ability to stand tall, to walk forward even when the world may seem uncertain. Billy Graham taught that true courage lies in being able to stand firm, even when the world says you should conform. It takes courage to embrace your independence, to walk your own journey, and to build a life that is uniquely yours. And it's in these moments of solitude that we come to understand the real meaning of freedom. Freedom is not simply doing what we want. It is the ability to make choices that are in alignment with our deepest values and highest purpose, without fear of judgment. Independence isn't just about being able to take care of yourself physically, it's about emotional and mental independence too. When you live alone, you learn how to handle your own emotions, to process your thoughts, and to manage your life with clarity and wisdom. You no longer rely on others to fill the gaps or make decisions for you. You take ownership of your own life and your own future. This process of self-reliance builds a strength that can never be taken away. You become unshakable in your sense of self-worth because you no longer need external validation to feel valuable. You know that your worth is inherent and it is not dependent on whether or not you have someone by your side. Billy Graham said, "God doesn't call us to be comfortable, He calls us to be strong, to stand firm in our faith, and to grow in wisdom and strength." And this is what independence allows us to do. It calls us to become the strongest version of ourselves. It doesn't mean we don't need others or that we don't value companionship, but it means that we no longer depend on others to complete us. We are complete in ourselves. So, if you find yourself living alone right now, know this. You are in the midst of building something powerful, yourself. This independence is the foundation of your strength, your character, and your ability to navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. Embrace it. Stand tall. You are not lacking anything. You are becoming the man you were always meant to be, strong, resilient, and independent, ready for whatever comes next.
The burden of society's expectations. Living alone without a girlfriend can feel like a heavy burden, especially when society is constantly telling you that you should be in a relationship. The messages are everywhere. On television, in movies, on social media, and even from well-meaning friends and family, there's this unspoken belief that a man's worth is tied to his relationship status, that to be truly successful, happy, and fulfilled, you must be partnered with someone. But I want to challenge that notion today. I want you to understand that the expectations of the world are not your burden to carry. Billy Graham once said, "The world will try to define you, but only God knows who you truly are." These societal expectations, these pressures to conform, are simply distractions from your true purpose. They try to convince you that you're missing something essential if you don't fit into the typical mold of what society deems successful. But in truth, living alone without a girlfriend is not a sign of failure. It's a season of growth, clarity, and self-discovery. We live in a world that often defines a man's worth by the relationships he has. If you don't have a girlfriend, people might wonder if there's something wrong with you. They might suggest that you're incomplete, that you're missing something essential to your happiness. But the truth is that this societal view is misguided. Your worth, your value, is not determined by your relationship status. It's determined by the character you build, the choices you make, and the life you live. Billy Graham also said, "We are not called to be like everyone else. We are called to be who we were created to be." You are not called to live according to the expectations of others. You are called to live in alignment with your own values, your own truth, and your own unique purpose. The world may tell you that you need a partner to feel complete, but God or life or your own inner truth has a different plan for you. This time of solitude is not a mistake. It is a time for you to discover who you truly are without being influenced by what others think. The weight of society's expectations can be overwhelming, and it's easy to start doubting yourself, questioning your worth, or feeling like you're falling behind. But I encourage you to take a step back and ask yourself, what is it that I truly want? What is it that will bring me fulfillment, peace, and joy? When you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own journey, you will find that the burden of societal expectations lightens. Embracing your current situation, whether single or living alone, is an act of liberation. It is a refusal to conform to the world's standards, and instead, it is a declaration that you will live according to your own principles. You are not incomplete, you are whole. You are not missing anything. You are simply in a season of personal growth and transformation. Billy Graham said, "The Christian life is not a matter of doing the best you can. It's a matter of letting God work in you." And in this season of solitude, you have the opportunity to let your true self emerge. You have the space to build the life that's right for you, to cultivate your passions, to pursue your dreams, and to develop the relationships that truly matter. So when society asks, "Why are you still alone?" or "What's wrong with you?" remember this: Your worth is not tied to their expectations. You are on your own path, and that path is leading you exactly where you need to go. You don't need to live up to someone else's standards. You need only to live up to your own potential and your own truth. Let go of the burden of society's expectations and instead embrace the freedom to live authentically, to discover your purpose, and to build a life that is uniquely yours. The courage to be alone. Living alone without a girlfriend requires a unique kind of courage, a courage that many overlook or fail to understand. In a world where companionship is often seen as a necessity for happiness, living alone can feel like an act of defiance. It's a choice that challenges the norm, a choice that requires strength, not weakness. But let me tell you, it is one of the bravest things you can do. Billy Graham once said, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it." And when you live alone, you must face many fears: the fear of loneliness, the fear of being judged, the fear of being seen as incomplete. All these fears surface when you walk the path of solitude. Yet it is through facing these fears head on that you develop the courage to stand strong and unwavering in who you are. You see, courage doesn't come from being free of fear. It comes from walking forward in the face of fear. The courage to be alone is not about ignoring the desire for companionship or pretending that you don't feel the weight of solitude. It is about choosing to embrace your independence, to stand tall in your own space, and to trust that you are enough just as you are. It is about recognizing that your value is not determined by the presence of another person in your life, but by the strength of your character, the clarity of your purpose, and the integrity of your actions. When you live alone, you are given the opportunity to face yourself. You have no one else to rely on, no distractions to hide behind. You must confront your own fears, your own insecurities, and your own shortcomings. But here's the thing. It is in these moments of self-confrontation that you find your true strength. The man who lives alone and confronts his fears with courage becomes a stronger, more resilient version of himself. Billy Graham also said, "The greatest courage is to face life's challenges with faith, knowing that God will see you through." And this applies to the courage of living alone. It's not about navigating the journey alone without any support. It's about having the courage to trust yourself, to know that you have the strength to face whatever comes your way. It's about learning to rely on your own inner resources, to find peace in solitude, and to develop an unwavering confidence in your ability to handle life's challenges on your own. Living alone is a test of character. It forces you to be honest with yourself, to take responsibility for your own happiness, and to recognize that the life you build is entirely in your hands. It is a path that demands courage, not the courage to be in a relationship, but the courage to be content and fulfilled on your own. This kind of courage is powerful. It is the courage to stop seeking approval from others, the courage to build your life around your own values and dreams, the courage to face the empty space in your home and see it not as a symbol of loneliness, but as a canvas for your own growth and self-discovery. So if you find yourself alone, know this: you are not alone because you are weak or lacking. You are alone because you are strong enough to face your fears, to grow through solitude, and to emerge a stronger, more complete man. The courage to be alone is not just a matter of surviving. It is about thriving in your own skin, growing into the person you were always meant to be, and standing tall in the knowledge that you are enough. Discovering your true purpose. When you live alone, without the distractions or demands of a relationship, you are gifted with the time and space to focus on one of the most important aspects of life: discovering your true purpose. This is not just about career success or material achievements. It is about understanding the deeper reason you were put on this earth, the unique contributions you are meant to make, and the way you are called to live your life. Billy Graham once said, "God does not call the equipped, he equips the called." In solitude, you are given the space to listen to your heart, to listen to the world around you, and to listen to the quiet whisper of your purpose. When we are constantly surrounded by others, it is easy to lose sight of who we are and why we are here. But when we take the time to step back and truly reflect, we begin to uncover the things that are most important to us. We start to recognize what excites us, what fuels our passion, and what brings us joy. And it is in these moments that we find clarity about our purpose. Living alone doesn't just allow you to focus on your goals, it gives you the opportunity to ask yourself the deeper questions. What am I truly meant to do with my life? What will leave a lasting impact? What legacy do I want to create? These are the questions that lead to purpose, and they cannot be answered by others. They can only be answered by you. Billy Graham also said, true fulfillment in life comes when we begin to live with the understanding that our lives are part of something far greater than ourselves. When you live alone, you have the freedom to explore your purpose without the influence or distractions of others. It's a chance to reflect on what you want your life to be about and to begin aligning your daily actions with that greater purpose. Discovering your purpose is not always easy. It requires introspection, hard work, and patience. But it's a journey that's worth every step. When you embrace solitude, you are not merely passing the time or filling space, you are taking the time to invest in yourself, to uncover your passions, and to shape a future that is aligned with your values. This is the real gift of living alone, the opportunity to discover who you truly are and to build a life that is meaningful and fulfilling on your own terms. Your true purpose is not found in the approval of others, nor in fitting into society's expectations. It is found in listening to your heart, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, and walking boldly in the direction of your passions. When you live alone, you are free to take risks, to fail, to learn, and to grow into the person you are meant to be. You have the freedom to explore what truly makes you come alive, and in doing so, you begin to unlock the potential that resides within you. Billy Graham often spoke about the importance of living a life with purpose and conviction. He said, the world needs men who are not afraid to stand up for what is right, to be leaders, and to live with a sense of purpose that goes beyond personal gain. This is the essence of discovering your true purpose, not living for yourself, but living for something greater, whether that's helping others, contributing to a cause, or living in alignment with your deepest values. So if you find yourself in a season of solitude, understand this. It is not wasted time. It is the most precious time you have to discover your true purpose. Embrace it. Use this time to reflect, to uncover the passions that lie within you, and to begin building a life that reflects the man you are meant to be. When you live with purpose, every step you take becomes more meaningful, more fulfilling, and more aligned with the person you are destined to become. The art of self-improvement. Living alone is a powerful opportunity for self-improvement. In the silence, without the distractions and demands of others, you can focus on becoming the best version of yourself. It is in this solitude that you are able to turn your attention inward and work on the areas of your life that need growth. It is not just about achieving external success. It is about cultivating the qualities within you that will lead to a more fulfilled and purposeful life. Billy Graham once said, the greatest step you will ever take is the one toward becoming the person you were created to be. Self-improvement doesn't happen by accident. It takes intentional effort, and living alone gives you the space to make that effort. You have the opportunity to take a hard, honest look at yourself, your habits, your mindsets, your actions, and make the changes necessary to become the person you know you're capable of being. Self-improvement is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong process. It is about making small daily decisions that lead to big changes over time. Living alone allows you the space to develop new habits, to break free from old patterns, and to create a life that aligns with your true potential. Whether it's improving your physical health, developing new skills, or nurturing your emotional and mental well-being, the time you spend alone is a chance to work on yourself in ways that you may not have had the opportunity to do before. Billy Graham also spoke about the importance of personal growth, saying, each day is an opportunity to grow in grace, wisdom, and strength. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of life and forget about the importance of growing as a person. But when you live alone, you have the chance to slow down, to reflect, and to invest in your growth. You are not distracted by the needs of others. You are able to focus on the areas of your life that need attention. Self-improvement is about pushing yourself to become better in every area of your life. It's about developing the discipline to take care of your body, the wisdom to strengthen your mind, and the courage to heal your heart. It's about being intentional with your time, setting goals, and working toward them with consistency and perseverance. It's about recognizing your weaknesses, but not allowing them to define you. Instead, you learn from them and you use them as stepping stones to become stronger. Living alone gives you the freedom to focus on what truly matters to you. You have the space to explore your passions, to learn new things, and to develop new skills. It allows you to invest in your future without distractions, knowing that the work you put in today will pay off tomorrow. Whether it's reading, exercising, learning a new language, or even practicing mindfulness, the opportunities for self-improvement are endless when you are living alone. Billy Graham often said, "The man who does not strive to improve himself will be left behind." It is easy to become complacent when we are surrounded by distractions, but when you live alone, there are no excuses. It is a chance to push yourself forward, to step out of your comfort zone, and to grow in ways that you never thought possible. So, use this time wisely. Living alone is not a time for idleness, it is a time for action. Take this opportunity to work on yourself, to become the best version of who you were always meant to be. Invest in your physical, mental, and emotional health. Set goals, make plans, and take consistent steps toward improving every aspect of your life. Remember, the journey of self-improvement is ongoing, but every step you take today brings you closer to the person you are destined to become. Building stronger relationships with oneself. One of the greatest gifts that living alone offers is the opportunity to build a stronger relationship with yourself. So often we look outside ourselves for validation, for love, for answers. But true fulfillment begins when we turn inward and cultivate a healthy, loving, and honest relationship with ourselves. The foundation of every other relationship you will have in life is built on the one you have with yourself. If you do not know how to love and care for yourself, it becomes difficult to offer that love to others in a genuine way. Billy Graham once said, "Before we can love others, we must first love ourselves." And that begins with understanding who we are, why we are here, and what we are called to do. When you live alone, you are forced to face yourself, to confront your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and your desires. This self-awareness is not always easy, but it is essential for personal growth and creating deep, meaningful connections with others. Building a stronger relationship with yourself starts with self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things aren't going the way you want. You may feel like you're falling behind or that you're not living up to your potential. But true growth happens when you stop judging yourself so harshly and begin to treat yourself with the same kindness and patience that you would offer a close friend. When you live alone, you have the space to practice this self-compassion. There are no distractions, no one to impress, no one to compete with. It's just you and the person you're becoming. Billy Graham also said, "God's love for us is unconditional. He doesn't wait for us to become perfect before he loves us. We should show ourselves the same grace." When you live alone, you have the opportunity to develop this kind of unconditional love for yourself. It is in this space of self-love that you can begin to heal, to forgive, and to release the guilt or shame that may have been holding you back. You don't need someone else to validate your worth. You are worthy because you exist. You are enough just as you are. In solitude, you are also given the chance to learn how to meet your own emotional needs. Too often, we place the responsibility of our happiness on others, on a partner, a friend, or family, but living alone teaches you the importance of emotional self-sufficiency. It encourages you to explore what makes you feel whole, what brings you peace, and how you can fill your own heart with joy. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself from others, but it does mean that your happiness should not depend on anyone else. You are capable of creating your own joy. Building a strong relationship with yourself also means setting healthy boundaries and learning to respect your own needs. It's about knowing
knowing when to say no, when to prioritize your own well-being, and when to step back and take care of yourself. This is not selfishness. This is self-respect. When you live alone, you are in a unique position to cultivate this kind of self-awareness. You can focus on your emotional, mental, and physical health without the distractions or compromises that come with being in a relationship. Billy Graham often spoke of the importance of inner peace, saying, "True peace comes from within, when we learn to accept ourselves and our circumstances with grace." As you build a stronger relationship with yourself, you will find that peace will follow. You will become more comfortable in your own skin, more at ease with who you are, and more confident in your ability to navigate life on your own terms. So take this time of solitude to nurture your relationship with yourself. Take yourself on adventures, enjoy the simple pleasures of life, and learn to appreciate your own company. This is a season of growth and healing. By building a strong relationship with yourself, you are not only improving your own life, you are preparing yourself to give and receive love in the healthiest way possible when the time comes. Remember, the foundation of every relationship you will ever have begins with the one you cultivate with yourself.
Embracing the future with confidence. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to leave you with one final message. Embrace your future with confidence. If you are living alone, without a girlfriend, or navigating life on your own, know that this is not a setback. This is a season of growth, a season of preparation, and a season of building the life you were always meant to lead. The future is yours to shape, and it begins with how you choose to approach it today. Billy Graham once said, "The future is not a place we are going, but a place we are creating." Your future is not defined by the circumstances you face now, but by the choices you make in this moment. You may feel uncertain about what's ahead, especially when you are walking alone, but know this: the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is to face the future with faith, courage, and a deep sense of self-assurance. Living alone is not a void. It is a fertile ground for your dreams, ambitions, and desires to grow. It gives you the space to build the foundation for the person you are becoming. You have the power to shape the life you want, to step into your purpose with confidence, and to embrace every opportunity that comes your way. This season of solitude is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you are taking the time to focus on what truly matters: your growth, your dreams, and your future. Remember, as Billy Graham often emphasized, it is not the challenges we face that define us, but how we respond to them. You have the power to respond to the challenges of solitude with courage and faith. You have the power to turn this time into a period of deep transformation. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you stand tall in your independence, where you embrace your purpose, and where you walk forward with the confidence that comes from knowing you are enough, just as you are. So, as you look ahead, do not fear the future. Embrace it. Trust in your own ability to handle whatever comes your way. Trust in the lessons you have learned through solitude. Trust in the strength you have developed in these quiet moments, and trust that the best is yet to come. The future is bright, and it belongs to those who have the courage to walk alone when necessary, to embrace their journey, and to build their lives on a foundation of self-love, growth, and purpose. You are not defined by your relationship status or the lack of one. You are defined by the choices you make, the way you treat yourself, and the way you move forward in faith and confidence. So, go ahead. Embrace the future. Step into it with hope, with strength, and with the unshakable knowledge that you are ready for all that is to come. The world is waiting for the man you are becoming, and the best version of yourself is just around the corner.